Our next question, we have Camille, who's asked a similar question as Sean, so I'm going to read them both. Do you have a philosophy on how to structure character arcs within a series? And then Sean asked, I'm curious what you think about character development in a series, especially protagonists. So I think you touched a little bit upon this, but do you have anything else to say about those continuous arcs? I get asked about this probably the most of any series question.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, I did kind of touch on it, but again, I mean, I think it's really important to have an idea of who the character is going to be at the end of the series, and try to start them as far away from that as possible at the start of book one, so you know right off the bat they've got lots of growth, lots of places they can go with it. Um, but then also recognizing that like they can't be static for the first two books and then whoa, big changes in book three. Like it does kind of have to be something that happens gradually over the entire series. And you can kind of start thinking early on about different things that you can throw at them that's going to force them to change, and make sure that there's something in every book that they're going to have to face and that they're going to have to tackle. And maybe that thing makes them stronger, and maybe that thing scares the heck out of them and they kind of retreat for a little while. Like you can play with again the kind of the idea of the one step forward, two steps back idea. So like for Cinder, for example, she starts at a very low place and she ends at a very high place, but it's not this like constant upward progression. She's not getting stronger and smarter and more skilled throughout the whole series. Like there's moments where she develops a new skill and then hates herself for having that skill and refuses to ever use it and thinks she's a horrible person for it. And like, so we get this up and down, trajectory that goes on throughout all four books.
Yeah, and I always like to say, how can you take what they've learned in the first book and subvert it, or take it to the dark side, or have them question it, which is what you did. And I think there's a reason why the second installment of trilogies are always the dark ones. It's because like that's where the characters like dabbling with the dark side, and like they learn something, but then they start to doubt themselves and they start to turn against themselves. Like I remember Cinder starting to see herself in Lavanna and just be the evil queen and just being like, oh crap, like that's me. So that dark side coming out.
Yeah. And you also have where like if we looked at the Renegades trilogy, we've got Nova, who is a villain. She's a super villain. And so like she starts out super villain, wanting to like kill the superheroes. By the end of book one, she's starting to doubt that and starting to like question everything she's ever believed in. So then for me, the question is, okay, but if I just have her be like, you know what, I'm going to join their side, then where do you go for the rest of the books? And so for book two, it was almost like she's going to like double down. She's like, no, I can't possibly have these feelings and I need to stick with my goals. And so she like just becomes even more resistant to change. But then, of course, throughout the story, we're throwing more and more things at her that's forcing her to change against her will.
Right. Against their will. I like that. All right. If you enjoyed this video, we've got a lot more on writingmastery.com. Check the description for links to our blog, free writing tools, and more. Happy writing.